Through growing up, what I've discovered is that this world is a very vast, a very wonderful and beautiful one, and there are so many things to discover, but the most important journey I think all of us will go through is the journey in ourselves, to find our truth, to find who we are and what makes us happy. And in our culture, we are told that if we're beautiful, if we're skinny, if we're successful, famous, if we fit in, if everyone loves us, that we'll be happy. But that's not entirely true.
And the world is a hurting place, and the world needs hope, and the world needs love. Without hope, we feel like, why are we here?
Depression is a terrible thing. And many, many, many things cause it, and we don't understand. We understand some of them, but lots of them we don't understand at all. You know, sometimes people get depressed because they're really sick. There's lots of reasons that people get depressed, and depressed people can go places that are so dark you just cannot imagine it.
You're stuck in this cycle where your brain chemistry and your wiring and all your habits are designed to keep you still and sedentary, and you make the mistake, we all do, of waiting to feel ready. Depression does not rob you of the choice. It just tricks you into making the wrong one.
Your best bet in life is to shoulder your suffering and to take responsibility and to move forward.
Depression, frustration, anxiety, pain, disillusion. It's just a natural part of the process of becoming a stronger version of yourself. It happens to us spiritually, and it happens in the world physically.
If you have depression, if you have anxiety, if you have post-traumatic stress disorder, if you have any kind of mental health condition, it's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's nothing to hide, and it's something to hit head on with. There's one thing that if you did every single day, no joke, it would make an extraordinary difference in whatever mental health issue you're struggling with, and that is exercise. What we know about human beings is that when you physically move, your physiology changes, and that changes your brain.
You've got to exercise, you've got to express the energy in the body, you've got to get it out. We forget that we can use our bodies to affect our minds. The mind has become overactive. It's not your friend anymore. It's depressed your body. But we can take our body back and express it and allow it to help the brain recover. Go for runs, go for walks, join a CrossFit gym, join a powerlifting gym. Do something that's gonna get your body moving. Begin doing yoga, begin stretching.
Get outside with your dog in the woods. Walk with a good friend for 2 or 3 miles. Doing that every single day not only moves your body, which changes your mind, it gets you out of your physical environment, which is one of the things that people with depression tend to have a hard time doing. And it also creates a bit of momentum and a bit of a routine in your life.
For many people, if they don't get up at the same time, they foul up the functioning of their circadian rhythms, and that's enough to make them depressed right off the bat, especially if they start napping during the afternoon. They also don't have a purpose. People aren't good without a purpose. And if someone comes in to see me and they say they're depressed, I always ask them, do you have a job? If you don't have a job, you're really in trouble in our society. Don't sacrifice your stability, even if it's not the job you exactly want. Get a damn job. You need a job. Almost all the positive emotion that any of you are likely to experience in your life will not be a consequence of attaining things. It will be a consequence of seeing that things are working as you proceed towards a goal you value.
So the very first piece that I want to read is from Abdu'l-Baha, that the mind and spirit of man advance when he's tried by suffering. The more ground is plowed, the better the seed will grow, the better the harvest will be. Just as the plow furrows the earth deeply, purifying it of weeds and thistles, so suffering and tribulation free man from the petty affairs of the worldly life until he arrives at a state of complete detachment. For the ground to produce strong fruit, strong trees, it needs to be dug up really deep. You need that pain, you need that suffering, you need that digging, you need that turning, you need that turmoil to get rid of all the impurities that allow the seed to grow to its fullest potential.
People have a choice. choice number one. Nothing you do means anything. The alternative is everything you do matters. It means responsibility. It means that the decisions you make are important.
At age 10, tried to drown myself in 6 inches or 15 centimeters of water. I had enough. I wanted to get out of here because of the bullying in my life, because I was going to be a burden to my parents and I had nothing to look forward to. There was one thing more burdensome than having a child without limbs. What is it? A child without limbs who gives up. So when I saw in my mind my mom and my dad and my brother crying at my grave if I went through with it, that one thought saved me.
When you talk about topics like depression, like sobriety, like anxiety, they can feel so big. Even a topic like growing your business, tripling your income, it can feel so big. But when you realize that anything that you have in life is all just the sum of all the decisions that you make, and you shrink everything down to just managing one decision at a time to be a decision that empowers you versus a decision that disempowers you, you now have the secret to changing anything. Yes, still talk to your therapist. Yes, still stay on your meds if you're on them, but you can start to now go and change how you respond. Because what's happening is the alarm goes off, you don't feel like getting up, so you don't. You have a choice about what you do when that alarm goes off.
You got things to do and they're going to be difficult. You pick up the weight of your suffering voluntarily and you walk uphill with it. And that not only gives you the meaning that you need in your life to stop you from degenerating.
Even the worst parts of my life can be turned into good and even more special. You got to come to the truth of knowing who you are and why you're here. William Barclay, he said, the greatest 2 days in anyone's life, the day you were born and the day you knew why. Every single human being has value, and my value is not determined on how I look or what job I have or where I'm from, where I was born, how much money. All that stuff is nothing. I'm wonderfully and fearfully made. There's a greater purpose for my life.
You can look at your life and you can see what isn't right about it. And then you can start to fix that. And the way you fix it is by noticing what you could in fact fix. Small accruing gains that repeat are unbelievably powerful.
Be open, don't be ashamed, get the help that you need. If you want to start doing something today, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, give yourself a push and you're going to feel a lot better.